I just want to say, one, it's an honor to get to recognize two fantastic people today, but also to say thank you for your flexibility. I very much understand, we very much understand that this is a day celebrating you and the ability to continue with that from afar, especially when I know it wasn't the first choice. So thank you very much for your flexibility and the ability to get together over distance today.
Their Majesties would see before them Cedric of Thanet.
Make way for Sir Cedric of Thanet, Knight of the Society, Master of the Laurel, Companion of the Orders of the Manche, the Silver Crescent, the Sea Stag of Atlantia, the Tiger's Combatant, the Silver Mantle, the Golden Mantle, the Beacon of Endward, the Portcullis of Endward, the Keystone of Endward, holder of the Sovereign Cipher from Gregor IV, former King's Champion of Thrown Weapons, Master Thrower, and Renaissance Man.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, Your Majesties.
We spoke a few weeks ago and left you with a question. I'm hoping you've returned to us with an answer.
Your Majesties, I have given this question due consideration, much thought, and my answer to you is yes, I will accept this.
Thank you very much for your answer, and it is duly appreciated. Is there a member of the Order of the Pelican which will speak for the candidate?
Yes, Your Majesties. I am Brita Marison's daughter, Companion of the Order of the Pelican, and I have that honor here today. Although I am his only speaker, Cedric embodies all the virtues normally cited by speakers for the other peerages, such as prowess, courtesy, persistence, excellence in art, and chivalry. I have known Sir Cedric since he moved to Endward more than 20 years ago. In that time, he has constantly been offering his service to the barony, the kingdom, and the society. He has cooked feasts, including one for rapier champions, for which he had made contingency plans, just in case his wife Mira had to give birth during the event. He and Mira built the Megalino, a huge tent, which is so famous that it has a song written about it. And it has become a gathering place for his household and for the barony. He and Mira created hands-on history on the internet so people could learn how to make medieval things. He has written poetry in praise of our barony and for members of the populace. He has created prizes for our events, award medallions for our barony, and largesse for the crown. He has served as seneschal of Endward's canton of Windrich and has participated in many of our demos. In fact, one of my favorite pictures of Cedric is of him at one of our demos in his armor demonstrating a drop spindle. Not content with just armored combat, he has supported these by participating in rapier war points at Pendrick, and most recently by his involvement in thrown weapons, where he has excelled. He is a thrown weapons marshal and was Sovereign's Champion of Thrown Weapons in 2017. He posts teaching videos to help people improve their skills, hosts practices, marshals tourneys, and is always willing to teach. He is one of the best supporters of thrown weapons in our kingdom, and his dedication to this community has helped it to grow and flourish. I say to you that Sir Cedric is a jewel in the crown of the East, and indeed of the society, and I am so pleased that you are recognized even in this way. I love you, Sid.
Thank you. Strong words for a good gentle that is well known to us already, but it is much appreciated to be reminded of the scope and depth of his impact.
Is there a medallion?
There is, Your Majesties. This is a legacy medallion of the House of Ancestor. It was first worn by Tanis of Tyrannodon from Atlantia, and then Cedric's own knight, Tanek of Ancestor. Then it was worn by Cara Marie of Carlisle, Oriana of Xylena, Lucy Lovegood of Ramsgate, Alana Urquhart of Atlantia, and now me, Sylvia Duvay, and I have the honor of passing that on to Cedric. In addition, because Sir Cedric is not going to be able to hold on to that medallion for more than a few minutes, I am passing on to him a medallion bestowed upon me by Santa Claus.
Two strong and storied legacies. As we approach winter, I wonder, is there a cloak to keep Cedric warm?
There is, Your Majesty. This cloak was sewn for his laureling 10 years ago by nearly 25 different people, members of his household and of the barony, and it was embellished and added and enhanced by Mr. Santalita and other members of people who care for him very, very much. Because I don't know.
Alright, you need to take that. And I get to show. I'm gonna let Otto take that.
Laudate Cedricus, acuspid pelicanus. To Cedric of Thanet, knight, laurel, and worthy subject, do we send our greetings and recognition. Long and well have you served our lands, guarding the northern marchers at our ward's end, with sword and spear and axe and blade. Teaching all comers, you have encouraged our ranks and protected our borders with your great service to those of great and humble esteem alike. In honor of your reliability and wise governance, we render to you the gratitude deserved for your care in our loyal subjects and for the very great fidelity which you have shown to the East, by ordaining you a companion of the Order of the Pelican, with the advice and consent of your fellow companions. By this sign, all will know our respect for your devotion, and should you be called beyond our borders, all willing, you shall return to us. Thus, 3 days past Martinmas in the 55th year of the Society, with our intention of worthily rewarding your services now complete, we, Magnus Tyndall and Albrecht von Rostock, Royal Majesties of the East, ask you to continue the same. Labor omnia improba vincet. Words by Annalita Falconbridge, scroll by Vittorio Antonello.
Sir Cedric, normally this is when we would ask you to rise and greet your order, but instead I would compel you to carry your order with you in your heart. Take them with you. Know that you have our love, their support, and the appreciation of everything you do.
Do you wish to give an oath at this time?
I would gladly do so, Your Majesty. Your Majesties, I have been in society more decades than I wish to count aloud. In that time, I have sworn arm and service to the monarchs. I have sworn art and science to the kingdom. And all these things, I have also sworn my service. So to you, as representatives of not only the Kingdom of the East, but the SCA, I pledge to you continuance of service, continuance to promote our values, to continue to promote our ideals to not only new, but old and middle alike. This is my pledge to you. I shall endure, I shall continue to serve, and I shall continue to try to lead by example.
I, Alberic,
And I, Kindle,
hear your words and know them to be true.
you shall always have a place of safety within our borders and at our hearth.
During times of war and during times of peace, until the crowns come from our heads, you have our protection.
For Cedric, newest companion to the Order of the Pelican. Vivant!
Lots.
Vivant! Vivant!
Lots.
Their Majesty Otto Gottlieb.
Now comes before you Otto Gottlieb, Baron of Endward, Master of the Laurel, Master Brewer, Master Bowman, Companion of the Orders of the Manche, the Silver Crescent, the Sagittarius, the Portcullis of Endward, the Beacon of Endward, and the Keystone of Endward, and Postal Legatus of the East.
Otto, we have spoken quite a few weeks ago, and it was our intention to elevate you to the Order of the Pelican. Is this still something you wish?
Yes, Your Majesties, I have taken the time to reflect, and it would be my honor.
Is there someone from the Order of the Pelican that would like to speak for you?
Your Majesties, I am Sylvia Duvet, companion of the Order of the Laurel and a companion of the Order of the Pelican. It is my great honor to be the sole speaker for Otto Gottlieb today. I found myself trying to prepare for this and could not bring pen to paper. It was too hard and too emotional. I've known Otto since the very first moments of his involvement in the SCA. He came in with gusto. He brought friends and beer. He started right away taking on leadership roles, helping, doing the things. He never stopped. There are lots of things that I could speak to, but I find myself going back to one pivotal moment in our group's history when we were making the very critical decision about whether or not we were going to be a shire or we were going to become a barony. This was tricky because in Endward, we have lots of people with opinions. And we are a shire and a barony, at that time a shire, full of leaders. And it's one thing to lead when there are lots of people willing to follow, but it's another thing to lead when the group is full of leaders. And leading leaders is tricky business. Otto did this well. He was able to navigate that transition. He was able to bring all of the people with him. He was able to involve everyone. And we left no one behind. This is due to Otto's leadership, his kindness, his compassion, and his ability to follow through. Because of this work, our group will never be the same, and we are better. We are stronger, and we love each other more. It is Otto that brought us to this point, along with all of the leaders who were willing to follow him. Your Majesties, I cannot think of any more deserving candidate than Otto Gottlieb. At this time, I recommend him strongly to you, and I welcome him with open arms into this order.
We hear your words, and they come from your heart. And we appreciate it so much for you speaking on behalf of Otto. And is there a medallion, as I think I know there will be?
Majesty, there is indeed a medallion. Come into my hands not less than a fortnight. This is the medallion born of the house Ancestor. It originated with Tanis of Tyrrhedon of Atlantia. Passed into my knight, Sir Cedric the Ancestor of Atlantia. Then traveled south to Cara Marie of Carlisle of Trimaris. Then north again to Atlantia, to Oriana of Zelina. Then it graced the shores of your kingdom upon the neck of Lucy of Lovegood of Ramsgate. It then traveled south again to Alana Urquhart, but not for long, for it has come back to the east in the hands of Sylvia Duvet, who this very day has handed it to me, and I now present it to Otto. Can we get over his head?
He has a big head.
Can I take it off?
No,
Take it
I
off?
think we're gonna get it.
We got it.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
In case within a fortnight's time that medallion may need to pass again, is there one that may stay with him?
There is, Your Majesties. When I became a pelican, Mistress Brose made me 2 medallions because one apparently wasn't enough for her. And I'm passing one of those on to Otto.
I see there's a fire behind you there, and also to keep him warm, is there a cloak?
There is, Your Majesties. And I failed to unbutton it. I'll show it to you just a second.
Sure.
Oh. Ah, I got it. All right.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
Not a single pipe cleaner or hot glue.
Where's the glitter?
No glitter.
No glitter? Okay. Thank you.
Because we know that you especially desire to hear and learn the state of our respect for good works, we, König Tindal and Königin Albrecht, find it fitting to state our opinion on the matter of Otto Gottlieb. We have surveyed throughout the east from Endward's lands and thence beyond, having proved the customs of service and manners of leading, of making, of mapping, and all well witnessed by many. We provide in these days past Martinstag that Otto shall be called a companion of the Order of the Pelican, and so known by his deeds and countenance. Worthy is he for whom service is home. The bells should ring and the crowd come gathered round. Made by our sovereign, Word, Anno Societatis 55. Words by Annalita Falconbridge, scroll by Thura Eriksdottir.
Master Otto, at this time, would you like to swear an oath?
Yes, I would, Your Majesties. I want to make a confession. I've been selfish. Selfish for wanting to have more fun. I have done the things described in my writ to welcome others to join in the fun. If those things are acceptable, I will pledge to continue my service however I can, support the populace and Your Majesties, advise where appropriate, and uphold the ideals of the society.
I, Albrecht,
And I, Tyndall,
hear your words and know them to be true.
we accept your confession and offer you this penance. Continue your actions. Bring joy and fun to our kingdom and our people.
And know that you have the protection of the crown for you and yours.
You shall have a place at our heart in times of peace and war, an ear for your counsel, that we may also bring fun to the kingdom.
So say I, Albert.
And I, Tim.
Our Master Otto, newest companion to the Order of the Pelican. Vivat!
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 There is one more person that I'd like to call into court today. With Baroness Agatha, please present yourself.
Your Majesties, what did I do? Hopefully it's good.
Baroness Agatha, we would love to thank you today for standing in our stead, being up there in the narrating. But I would also like to convey my token of inspiration to you. So we met not so long ago I believe at Mistress Rose's place, and we had some really great discussions. And everything that you're doing is just an inspiration to me, and it's an inspiration to the kingdom. So thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
what you've been doing in our barony.
Thank you, Your Majesty. I'm honored.
Absolutely. Now more than ever, having strong baronial representatives of the crown is vitally important. And it is with confidence that we look upon you and offer, again, thank you for everything you're doing, especially today.
For Baroness Agatha, newest recipient of Consul Albrecht's token of inspiration. Vivat!
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 Vivat!